If you got it, it ain't a question. Oh, it ain't no one for guessing. No more than emotionally invested. Showing you all my imperfections.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Fierce Chats. How was your weekend? How was your weekend, boo? What was going on? What did you do? Oh my God, are you asking me how my weekend went? I had a bridal shower, not even last weekend, but the weekend before that, and it was lit, okay? I had I'm a big planning person, so I normally expect okay, so who all gonna be there and what we gonna do? Are we gonna have fun? Is it gonna be awkward? And it was none of those things. I actually didn't even really think about it because I just wanted to kind of enjoy the moment. So that was lit. So that was about 2 weekends ago. But with this last weekend, honey, I went and did some new things. We went to the Illuminarium here in Atlanta. If you have ever been to Two Urban Licks, it's right next to there. And so basically what you do is it's like a whole space area with stars and the moon, and they even do like a little recap of when the man went on the moon. Girl, don't ask me what year, don't ask me who it was. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But I thought the experience was cool because I like when we switch different stuff up. And my man, he always coming up with new and creative things for us to do that doesn't involve hookah and shots. There was still liquor there, okay? It's a full bar, and I think they also had a little restaurant for you to sit down in. And it was it had like a 3D picture or whatever. So it's cool. It's something different. Every time I go to something that's not Sivas every time I do something that's outside of what I normally do on the weekends, I'm like, how do people find out about this? How do y'all find out about what to do in your quote unquote local area? I also went to the Rosé Bistro, and that is in Atlantic Station. Okay, so here's my review because I know you was asking for it. The review is, it's a cute spot. I actually didn't eat there, but I felt like from the service that I received that eating a meal would be a little extra, if you know what I mean. Anyways, yeah, I just didn't feel like they, could handle the capacity of making sure I had something to eat and then also making sure I had some rosé. But anyways, what are my reviews about the rosé? The rosé was amazing. So I'll put that in my next lifetime vlog. I've switched up everything here on my channel. And so I'm really looking forward for you guys to be able to see those recaps over the last few weeks of what I've been doing around in the city and what I've been up to and things such as that. But it's a good vibe. It was cool. I would consider going back to actually test whether or not they could handle me ordering food. Okay, because I don't like to give conclusions about things without me really knowing the whole picture. But while I was there, the service was, they got to me with, got to us with, we did rosé flights. So that shouldn't be too difficult. Once you see my cup is empty, pour it up. Once you see it's empty, pour it up again. It's very simple, nothing crazy. But it seemed to be a large task at the time. It could have been the crowd. Don't get me wrong. That's why I said I'll loop back around. So if you are in the Atlanta area, it's a cool girls' night. It's even a cool little date night a little bit. I feel like if anything, Rosé Bistro is a starter. There was the weekend for your girl. And so before we get into the mess, quick message from one of our partners. Hey y'all, I'm super excited to share with you a brand that I love called Parade. Parade is a female-owned underwear brand where all fabrics are made with recycled material. With every purchase, Parade will donate a percentage to an organization of your choice. I really love how everything is super comfortable, girl, made for all shapes and sizes, including men. So go to yourparade.com and use code shesyourfierce for 30% off your entire purchase. Now back to the episode. Okay, also, you know what I forgot to mention? I forgot to mention Harlem. How we feeling about Harlem? I know this is for my ladies, but how we feeling about Harlem? I have really enjoyed this season. I am so happy that it's out. I really would get on Amazon Prime and be like, bro, when is the second season coming out? When is it coming out? I'm waiting too long. And if you know me, you know I'm a real live, Real Housewives, trash TV, if you will. Judge me, judge your grandmother. I normally don't get into scripted TV. And I know you'll be like, well, reality TV, is it not scripted? Whatever. Okay. Whatever. So I normally don't watch shows like that. So when one of my homegirls put me on Harlem, I just realized how important it is to like watch things that have you represented in it. So these are 4 Black women who are, you know, experiencing love, experiencing relationships, experiencing friendships, and just navigating their way through the city. And, you know, it's such a relatable show. So I love it. I really love it. I think it's also cool how the writers have switched up for Quinn. Now, if you don't watch Harlem, you know the drill. Get yourself over there. So I think it's really nice that the writers are showing Quinn having a full-fledged breakdown. And, okay, my therapist told me not to describe when you are crying or when you are upset as a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. So excuse me for the misquote, but Quinn is having a breakthrough. There are some different things that she's exploring. She's exploring her sexuality. And, you know, with her exploring her sexuality, I feel like I'm seeing her, you know, her thought process being like, she overthinks things. Did anybody feel like, you know, her and old girl, I don't know, I forget her name. But anyway, did anybody feel like her and old girl, did she jump to a conclusion when she was like, you know, I want to go and do this with you. I plan for us to do that. And then homegirl was like, well, you know, I want to make sure we're not doing too much. It's not you, it's me kind of thing. But I don't know if I got she was really trying to break up. I think she was just saying like, whoa, you know, we haven't even gotten there yet. You know, we haven't discussed relationships. I'm not ready for a long-term relationship or a committed relationship right now. And I'm definitely not an advocate for trying to convince somebody of something they told you that they don't want to do. But I also think that Quinn may have had an opportunity to, you know, still get to know the girl, still date. Like, what's she finna do with her? Marry her? And then we got tied with her husband. Her ex-husband pulling up, that was annoying. That was annoying as hell to me. I'm sorry. That was so annoying. He looked like Taj Mari, and not in a bad way. And I'm just like, where did you even come from? And I'm just trying to figure out, what is your even motive? Because why do you even want money from Ty? I know he eventually, you know, like gives it back to her or whatever, but that whole ordeal, I don't get it. I am loving this season of Harlem. And don't ask me if I'm watching anything else that's scripted. I don't know nothing about no BMF. I don't know what they doing over there. I can't name one character. Actually, I lied. Y'all been posting so much on Instagram. Oh my gosh. Who is Charles? He's the man from, I don't know. He's been in a lot of different movies. I don't even know his name for real. But, who is Charles? That's all I know. Y'all keep posting his little sex scenes or whatever little porn scenes is going on in BMF. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. What other little show y'all watching? I don't know. But Harlem is it. Okay. So if you want to do a little recap with me on some Harlem, let's do that. Outside of that, I can't help you. I don't know a thing. Let's hop into pop culture and let's get into the mess. All right, so you know I always got my ear to the street, so I'm always hearing what it is y'all is talking about. Am I wild for this question? Can we forgive Chris Brown? Yes or no? Yes or no? It's very simple. Yes or no? I love Chris Brown. I'm a Chris Brown fan. I'm also, I feel like a person that wants to separate the artist from the music. I know y'all saying like we can't do that, but that's what I'm doing. I'm separating the artist from the music, period. So I know he full-fledged was absolutely wrong for his interaction and the domestic issue that went on with him and Rihanna. Still a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? I seen him in a vlogs or whatever, you know. He when him and Karrueche broke up, he was fooling around and she was like, I need a restraining order. And I was like, ooh, Chris, that Taurus energy, that big Taurus energy, like, ooh, So I think he's very I think he very much still, you know, not to the extreme of being, I don't think that he is still participating in relationships or still showing up in relationships in a way that he showed up or didn't show up for Rihanna. So I feel like we can forgive him. But if I don't know the timeline, let me know. It's just been crazy because I've been seeing that he was supposed to perform at, what show was that? American Music Awards. And he was supposed to do a Michael Jackson tribute. And they was like, you know what? Nah.
Nope.
Dang. Like, damn, we haven't even seen, I feel like I have not seen him like on TV performing. in a long time. And that could be because of Chris's decision, whatever his PR team and things like that are doing. But I feel like, you know, it's possible we could have a DaBaby situation where DaBaby, he need to apologize. Okay? I'm not a fan. I'm not into it. Because I really don't like when you do somebody wrong and you know you did them wrong and you don't want to act like you did them wrong. He ain't got to apologize in public. Maybe not. Maybe not. But actually he do. Because he embarrassed her in public. He embarrassed her in public. And so therefore we need a public apology. So I also feel like Chris really hasn't. I know he has apologized and he did a documentary and things. But I feel like he hasn't given us a vision about what he wants to do next. Because before the Rihanna situation, girl, he was on Wrigley's gum commercial. He was on, I don't know, Mountain Dew. I don't know. He had so many different commercials. He was on TV. He was doing movies this Christmas and all of these things. And all of that is because kaput. He's also an artist, like a painter, you know, he do graffiti and stuff like that. Like, I don't see why he don't have like a tennis shoe or, you know, even did a quick little t-shirt line or something. But then maybe that's some part of his goals. Maybe that's a part of my goals with him. So, you know, let me know in the comments. Like, can we forgive him or not? Am I foul? Am I saying something crazy? People can't grow. They can't change. So how long is too long? But if they don't acknowledge things, then I guess, you know. But also, do people have to acknowledge stuff in a way that you want them to? It's just, I don't know. It's just been weird in the little, like, what's been going on with people and relationships and stuff like that. I'm seeing Halle and DDG. Let's be clear. Team Halle. Team Mermaid. Team The Little Mermaid. Period. So DDG, we're good. We're okay. I saw a couple of pictures of them actually after this whole like Ruby Rose situation. Girl. If your ex sitting over here saying that, you know, I can have him anytime that I want. He be in my DMs. He told me, you know, come here and come there. And then DDG is like, people are generating things. It is false. It is not clear. And then Halle said, the devil is a liar. I don't know what to make of it. I honestly don't. They're young, so, you know, this is all a part of dating, right? Like, sometimes you pick someone who's goofy-isha, who's a whole clown. But, like, to be clear, to be honest, to be serious, if my ex felt, like, bold enough to even imply that I'm reaching out to them or I'm having a conversation with them or something like that, Let's just play devil's advocate, right? He may not be actually doing anything. Let's just say he's not. But he's done something. And that, because I'm not here for let's get all on the women. Let's get all on Ruby Rose. Shut up. You're trying to ruin a really great relationship. What is he doing? He did something. Because I'm telling you, none of my exes feel comfortable enough to say anything like that. Tweet about me. Subtweet about me, nothing publicly. If I was Halle, I'd be like, sweetie, this is our last event. Grab your things, pack them, and get on out of here. Because as she said, the devil is a liar. I'd be damned. You're not gonna embarrass me like that. And then after, like, I think Ruby Rose has said one last thing. And I'm gonna put these up here for y'all to see or whatever. But I think she said one last thing. And she was like, DDG, you better get your family before I say something for real. It was cease and desist after that. No other word. She ain't the shade room. Nobody posted nothing else. So I'm just like, But then I see pictures after the fact that him and Halle are doing whatever. Relationships are funny. And so if we really want to talk about it, let's just get into the emotions. Let's get into the emotions.
The words of a broken heart is just emotions taking me over. Caught up in sorrow, lost in the song.
So I did a little poll on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at shesyourfierce. I'm going to be doing polls right before the show or right before I get ready to record the show so that we can kind of talk about things that y'all actually have engaged with me about already, and I can kind of share what the feedback is and we can get into the mess. But this is why relationships are very much so interesting because, you know, it depends on where you are in life or whether or not you feel like you want to really explore a person even though they're goofy, because everybody's goofy. Let's be clear. I'm goofy. So everybody's goofy. Everybody got their thing. It just depends on what it is that you want to put up with or not. And I am not no advocate for no type of disrespect. All right, anyways, let's hop into these Instagram poll results, girl. I asked them in 3 questions. And here's the first question. The first question is, do women set unrealistic expectations for relationships? And 92% of men responded yes. Second question, can you tell your girl straight up how you feel, or do you have to sugarcoat it? And 73% of men said no, they cannot tell their woman how they feel. Last question, are women selfish? 80% answered yes. I already knew what I was doing when I asked them this, kinda. I don't really know what way it was going to go. And let me tell you how I even ended up even doing this poll, okay? Because one, my man, he upset me. And let me tell you how he upset me, okay? The issue was, long story short, like I just said, I went out with one of my girlfriends. I went with my girlfriend and my sister to Rosé Bistro. Did I say that my sister had to end up driving me home, girl? She had to end up driving me home. Shout out to little sis, hanging, taking care of big sis always. Anyways, moving on. So I went out with my sister and one of my homegirls to Rosé Bistro this past weekend. And like I said, I keep a list of so many different things that I want to do in Atlanta. And I'll just like send it. I'll spitfire it. I'll send it to my man. I'll send it to my homegirls. I'll be like, oh my gosh, because at the end of the day, I just want to go. Like I want to go. Does it mean that I don't want to, does it mean that I'm not trying to spend the moment with somebody that I care about, with somebody that I'm actually going to have a good conversation with? No, it does not mean that. The people that I do send it to are people that I genuinely want to go with. So anyways, girl, I send it to my man. My man. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to execute it very quickly. I'm going to put it on a plan. I'm going to get on somebody's calendar and, execute it. So I sent him the restaurant that I wanted to go to, which is Rosé Bistro. And, there was really no, he was like, that's cool, babe. You know how they do. So cool. No problem. In an organic and genuine conversation, I was talking to one of my homegirls and she was like, what are you doing this weekend? Let's just say she said, what are you doing this weekend? Or what are your plans? I was like, I was looking at the Rosé Bistro and I really wanted to go there. And she was like, I want to go too. And I was like, well, let's make it a date. So she gave me her calendar, she gave me her dates, and we ended up planning it. And we planned it like 3 weeks from the date that I actually had this conversation with her after I had sent it to my man or whatever. Remind him, I'm like, hey, I'm going on this weekend, or I'm going out this particular day, and I'm going out with one of my homegirls, and we're going to the Rosé Bistro. Just reminding you because, checking in and things like that. He was like, oh, so you just want to go with anybody to the Rosé Bistro? You just sending me stuff that you'll send to anybody? You could have went with anybody. Could we have gone? Absolutely. I really didn't think too much about it when me and my homegirl made these plans to go anyway. And so basically what he said was, I am selfish. Me? Sasha? Are you kidding me? I am not selfish. I take account for everybody, whatever their emotions are. I'm over here like reminding him that this is what I have planned to do. I really wasn't trying to get into a conversation about how I'm selfish and how I do this and how I'm not doing that and this and that. And mind you, the context or whatever, I'm not probably using all the different details, but he did feel like, if you're doing something with somebody, go ahead and do that. But I want you to kind of engage and do stuff with me because you specifically want to do it with me, not because you can do it with anybody. Here again, if I send something out to people, it's people who I care about and I genuinely want to do things with. I'm not trying to make it a place filler or anything like that. And so when he said the selfish thing, I started to think about it. So I feel like this relationship is like the first relationship that I've been in where I really like accounted for all corners. And you could say obviously so, because this is a person that I'm going to marry. So obviously there are other, spaces that we have been in that I have never been in with other people. But I really feel like when I came into relationships, I really was trying to find the balance between being in a relationship and balancing my individualism. Because truthfully, I'm a social person. I tell y'all all the time, I'd be like, girl, if you want to go get some dinner, hit me up. No, I'm dead ass. Hit me up. because I thrive off of those things. I enjoy them. I enjoy changing what I would call my backdrop. I like going and experiencing new things, tasting new things, trying new things. And I don't know, something about it makes me feel really good. So, I really struggle sometimes to figure out what is the balance between my individualism and also showing up in my relationship in a way that doesn't seem like I don't account for his feelings. But what's crazy is you don't have to see stuff to know stuff, or maybe you don't have to see all stuff to know stuff. You do got to see some stuff to know it. But maybe you don't have to see stuff to know all things, but I can't really say where I felt like growing up, I saw the women in my life account for a man's feelings. And that sounds crazy because it's like, why would you not account for their feelings? I think early on, I misunderstood what I thought his feelings and emotions actually were. Like if I say something, honey, if you hurt my feelings, and I just want us to work through this, and I want us to solve through it because it's hurting me. Clearly I'm upset. Clearly I'm hurt. Clearly I'm distraught. But when I would engage with him about things that would upset him or things that he would be bothered by, he'd be like, I mean, it is what it is. Whatever was what is what. And it's just like, okay, so then you don't feel. Okay, so then you don't have any emotions. Maybe we are a little bit selfish. Y'all gonna beat me up after this? Are you gonna beat me up after this? Where I ride? If you see me on the street, swing. I'm swinging back. I ain't got no wig. Okay, this the oil sauce. All right, or natural. Maybe we are a little bit selfish. Maybe. Because when I thought about being a wife, I thought about vacuum lines, cooking meals, supporting him, of course, talking to him when he needs me, of course, but that's really it. I really didn't account for times where, he would be going through things but didn't necessarily speak on it. But he would tell me in other ways, yeah, I got a lot going on, or yeah, I'm stressed out about this. And I wouldn't account for that when I would come into a conversation with him. So let's just backtrack real quick. Backtrack to the conversation about the rosé bistro. When I responded to him, I was just like, I'm trying to balance my individualism. I'm trying to be your wife and be a bad bitch. And there are a lot of different things aside from being a wife that accounts for Sasha. And so can I not do those things? And of course the response would be absolutely, sure, you can. And so after I kind of really thought about it and had to do, switch it on back to myself, I would be like, so maybe I would feel like, he wanted to do whatever with anybody. It didn't have to necessarily be me. And so that takes the special, feelings out of it and stuff like that. And that should have been something that I accounted for and maybe explained a little better. Honestly, I didn't think twice about it. And those are still things that I am learning. Like I said, trying to balance and do stuff. But men are different. Men are different. I know we say they simple. I know we say that, they don't really talk about their emotions. And we say that, but do we really know what that means? They don't. You can reach a man's heart through his stomach. Never said reach a man's heart through, how was your day? Never thought about okay, so what do they learn on their end? Men, especially black men, African American, the whole, black people as a whole are just I feel conditioned to try and be super strong and not speak on stuff, or try and be super poker face. And you never know what it is that's really going on with us, instead of just saying how our emotions go. So then when we start interacting with different environments and different cultures, we'd be like, and your problem is, and what's going on with you? So while I was learning, this is what you have to do to be a wife, he was learning, don't cry, chin up, chest out. All of these different things that basically say suppress your emotions. And with that being said, although they very well may be aware of the fact that they don't talk on things, it's deep coded. It's deep coded. What a relearn it would be for them. And not saying that they're not capable of doing so, but they also want an environment where they're able to speak about different things that are on their minds. And that question about, whether or not you can talk to your girl and be straight up with her and not sugarcoat it. All the time, I would hear from my man, I can't talk to you because when I talk to you and I tell you about certain things, you can't handle it. And I would be like, what can I not handle? And we just had to come to a conclusion where like, I may cry. I may be upset. So that means men, fellas, if you're over here trying to talk to your girl and she's crying and she's upset and all those different things, keep talking. I'm not saying be disrespectful. I'm not saying, just do whatever it is that you want to do, but also exercise the muscle. Because I got tired of hearing that I can't come and talk to you because I don't know what your emotions are going to be. I'll be emotional. It's what it is. So keep talking and say, I feel like men a little bit, y'all get discouraged about not being able to talk to us because you're unaware or can't account for how we'll respond. And when you talk to your homeboys about like, bro, I don't really rock with you, or, I don't think you real with that. And he just be like, all right, bet, true. That won't be a response from your woman, but it doesn't mean that you can't tell her stuff. Tell her stuff anyway. You'd be like, oh, she can't handle it. She can. She can't handle it because you never speak on it. How are we supposed to know? This is a catch-22. How are we supposed to know what your emotions are about things if you never speak on it? Now, mind you, I did say that I have come to places and spaces to where I understand that he can't always speak on his emotions. He can't always lay things out detail by detail like I do. However, it has to be something to where you let your partner know that you're not okay, that what they did does not work for you, and figure out what the resolution will be of that. But I also think that that is a deterrent for relationship conversations, because it's like, anytime I come and talk to you, I don't want to have a press conference. Let's be clear. I want to speak. I want to say what it is I have to say. I want to drop the mic and I want you to marinate on it. And I think that men can do that same thing. I don't know if I'm having unrealistic expectations for that, but I think that men can do the same thing. I think you can say what you need to say instead of constantly trying to find a resolution for it, and talk for the sake of communicating. Because one thing for me as a woman that I do is marinate on things, is reprocess things. And I'm not saying men don't do that, but I'm just saying you say something to your woman, it's going to resonate. She heard you. But if y'all don't start exercising the muscle, how can we adapt? How can we adapt? We're the new adults, okay? We doing TikToks with the babies. We knocking them over to make our TikTok. We can damn sure listen to what y'all got to say about your feelings and emotions. That can help kind of direct us on what you need. Most people just want to be heard and feel acknowledged. And these are things that I've come across with growth and maturity. So of course you have to go through experiences to even know that. But most people want to be heard and be listened to. And I just wonder where we can all get in the love department if we know that our men just want to be acknowledged, they just want to be listened to, and that all those same things that ladies that we want, like you want to feel sexy, you want to feel wanted, you want to feel taken care of, you want to feel catered to. And I know that we've also talked about like these new men want a Valentine's Day gift. I'm not going that far. I do think that there are certain things that, man, fellas, let the lady have her moment. You'll be fine. You'll have your moment another day. You ain't got to have your moment right now. But I do think that we need to account for more often than not times to make our men feel like they've got a little Valentine's Day, or they've got a little, surprise date night, or got flued out, or any of those different things. I don't know, girl. Maybe I'm wrong, because I know y'all want to, I've heard men talk about what they want, and most of the time it's some sort of Olympics acrobatics for being a throat goat. And we on YouTube, so I'm not even gonna say what it is for real, but throat goat Olympics. Y'all gotta, is that what y'all want? Or do y'all want us to listen? Or do y'all want us to, it could be all of the above, but let me know. You know what I mean? There's always gonna be a girl with bigger tits, softer edges, smaller waist, and all those different things. There's always gonna be the case. I feel like women are going to have a hard time trying to figure out if you guys actually care about something with you constantly running to the next bitch. I feel like it's impossible. It doesn't make any sense. Is there a problem with having one person? Why you gotta have both? And I get why you gotta have both, okay? Because when you're dating, you're like, okay, I like this from this person. I like that from this person. And together, they both make me feel happy. Guess what? 9 times out of 10, or at least this is how I feel. I feel like we got to make better or more realistic expectations for relationships. I think that we can all have better expectations for relationships, but I think that I feel like women really need to know what your goal is, what your intention is, and what you're trying to do. And don't be sitting over here telling me you being honest. I've been honest with her and let her know that I ain't really trying to do this and this and that. Cap! That is not honesty. I hate that. Like, oh, I let her know I'm not really ready for this and that. Oh, okay. You let her know you're not ready for those things. However, the way you do stuff seems like you are. So now the young lady is confused. And you confused as to why she pulled up. You know, at the Ruth Chris, why you want a date. It's your fault. It's your fault. But I also think, ladies, in regards to unrealistic expectations for relationships, my therapist, she asked me, she was like, where did you get your idea of relationships? And she wasn't saying in a sarcastic or any passive aggressive type of tone. She was just like, where did you get that? And I was like, movies. And she was like, okay. And this is reality. And again, it wasn't a condescending or passive aggressive tone. It was really something that I needed to hear, which was that, if you run out the house, I'm like, fine, I don't want to talk to you anymore. We're good. We're done. He might not follow you like he do in the movies. It was very clear to see. So I'm just trying to figure out, ladies, like if we are coming into a relationship or we're coming into interacting with a man, let's fully assess. Let's fully assess. If you meet a man at a gas station, not saying he couldn't be your Prince Charming or any of those things, but for example's purposes, let's just think about it. If you meet a man at a gas station and he's like, let me get your number or something like that, and y'all end up having a date, but you're trying to figure out why he didn't hit you up. Sis, because if he got your number at a gas station, 9 times out of 10, he got 10 bitches' number at a gas station. That's just what I'm thinking. This can't be his first time unless the conversation from there was like, hey, I normally don't do this, but even then, you never know. You really never know. But I think that I agree with maybe there are some unrealistic expectations from our end. And by unrealistic, it doesn't mean it can't be obtained by your person. You just got to figure out whether or not you want to put in the work for y'all both to be able to obtain it. Because it might not be a thing where you just kind of sit here, keep it cute and keep it mute, and he somehow figures out how to fly you out to Dubai. I know y'all see the girls, the little it girls, the little that girl, and being like, oh my God, he flew me out to Dubai. Because he wanted to go out to Dubai. Girl, he wanted to go to Dubai. He wasn't trying to fulfill your dreams. He's fulfilling his own. Having a bad bitch on the beach or a new beach and stuff like that, that vision had nothing to do with you. He is not fulfilling your dreams, sweetie. I'm sorry. Not unless we are talking about like a monogamous relationship. Obviously, if that's something that you've expressed to your partner, cool. But let's just start like calling a spade a spade. Let's start to see stuff for what it really is and figure out whether or not what it is that you're trying to pull out from this person is something they're actually capable of doing. All people are capable of doing like really anything that it is that you want them to do. It's just whether or not they're actually going to do it. And you have to know that based off of different things that they tell you or different things that they are, even showing you. Okay? He may have, the first time you saw him, have long stem roses. He pulled out the red carpet, picked you up in the Rolls Royce. And what if he come back and pick you up in a Honda? Maybe he was just trying to impress you on the first date. It doesn't mean he was trying to do false advertisement, and then he picked you up in that Rolls Royce and now you're telling your friends y'all probably going to the Bahamas on a second date. Unrealistic. It may be unrealistic or maybe realistic for the person that it is that you're interacting with. I just want us to kind of really see people for really who they are. And it seems like across the board that the men, they are not feeling like we hear them. They're not feeling like we see them, and they're not feeling like we acknowledge them. And it's quite alarming, the results. Like, it's crazy. All right, ladies, so let's try for something different. And maybe, we can test it. You let me know. Let me know in the comments of this week's episode or next week's episode or whatever social platform that you follow me on. DM me. Let me know. Let's try something different. If your man is talking about how his day went, he's talking about what stressed him, let's just listen and leave our responses to things that only align with, I hear you, I understand, and I acknowledge what it is that you're saying. Let's try it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Let's try it. Let's see. Because the men are saying that we're not listening. We don't hear them. They can't say things. And I just wonder how many different things are in their mind that could kind of help us navigate them better, resolve things better, and all of those different things. Because I feel like far too often, and even my own relationship, that I experience maybe me saying something about something or whatever, and I don't want him to respond to me and tell me in return how he felt like I did something similar to him in another interaction. Sweetie, we can talk about this on another day. Okay, here's my time, period. I want to sit here and talk to you about what's going on with me without me having to hear about what's going on with you. It doesn't mean I don't care. It just means that why can't you find a place to talk about how you feel separately from me, so that it, not in a selfish way, but so that how are we even supposed to get anywhere if constantly in the conversation we're going back and forth about, I say something to you about how I feel about what you did. You come back to me telling me how I did something similar to you and you let it slide, so I should let it slide, So I'm feeling like that's what we're missing. What we're missing is too many conversations where people are not listening. Men, y'all not listening. Women, y'all not listening. And let's just listen to each other. Let's just see. It could be a bunch of mess, girl. I don't know. I do not know. But let's see. Because, I am really learning, the true definition of partnership. That is not easy. That is not for the birds. And you really do have to be able to be silent for a moment to hear exactly what it is that your partner needs from you. And if they don't feel like they have the space to even discuss that, so where you discussing it? Because your little friends don't know nothing about me. They heard a skewed story. What better place to talk than to you, girl? And they going to say we don't give them environment and the space to talk. So, go ahead. Try it. Try it this week. He says something, he's talking about things. And be like, yes, I understand. I get what you're saying. If he's looking for a resolution, I'm not saying do these things and it not be genuine. If you really need to say something, or is there something that needs to be said, then of course let's talk about it. But let's give a substantial amount of time for the men to be able to discuss what it is that's going on with them, for us to be able to let them know that we acknowledge them and we hear them, and let's see what the outcome is. All right, Pooh, let's get into this week's spotlight. All right, ladies, this one is going to be for y'all. Currently, I don't know if you can see, but I do have on a set right now, girl. I went onto the Emmy and I found some amazing lashes. Now, honestly, I really can't take all the credit because my homegirl told me, because another one of her homegirls told her, I think that the lashes are very natural looking, girl. I've really had them all day so I could test them out so y'all can know whether or not the longevity or any of those things are worth it. But lashes from Amazon, I'm going to link them in my description below. So I know if you get lashes or get them from a store or anything like that, I like to get lashes like this. I like to get more than one pair, because I'm constantly putting on lashes. So I got the curly pair and then a fluffy curly pair, and like I said, I will put both of these in my description. Each is like $9 or something like that. And if you get Ardell, or if you get Kiss lashes and you get more than like 4 or 5 pair, you could be looking at $12 or something like that, $15. I like to have a natural lash in stock, or something if I'm going out or something like that, so I can like switch between the two. So those are our spotlight products for today, girl, and thank you for tuning in. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, like, and comment this video. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. I keep asking you, boo, but I'm not hearing anything. Anyways, let me know if you get time to do so. As always, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in the next episode. Bye. If you got it, it ain't a question. Oh, it ain't no one forgets it. No more than emotionally invested.